Hello viewers, my name is Tyler Marchand. Today I'm going to be talking about my picks for the best hit songs of 1984. My apologies if this video seems to be out earlier than expected. I thought my break from school was shorter than it actually was, so I'm here today on the first day of the semester, as a matter of fact. I don't have any classes today, luckily, so I'm able to do this in peace. Now, one might think that since this list has only 15 songs in it, that I find 1984 is an average year for music. That is not true at all. Again, these 15 songs are the ones that cracked the 8 out of 10 threshold needed to make this video. Again, if 7 out of 10s were included, this video would have several more songs. Footloose, Dancing in the Dark, The Reflex, Somebody's Watching Me, Oh Sherry, Here Comes the Rain Again, The Warrior, Islands in the Stream, Love is a Battlefield, Almost Paradise, Cover Me, Give It Up, and The Longest Time. So yeah, 1984 was still a very good year. With my regretted omission from 1985 being Walking on Sunshine, let's get into the 5 honorable mentions. I mentioned in my 1985 video when talking about Easy Lover that this was my favorite Phil Collins song during my 80s phase of high school. Now, the two songs have swapped positions, but I'd say that it's more from Easy Lover growing on me faster than this song. Anyways, this is the love theme from a Jeff Bridges movie that I haven't seen, and while In the Air Tonight might be his signature song, this was his most successful solo hit, and for good reason. The song's a simple piano ballad, but it works well here, mostly due to Phil's vocal performance, as he sells the pain he's feeling from a relationship that wasn't meant to be, but also acknowledges that it may be for the best. I still love this track today. This era was probably the best for hard rock anthems in that they were all legitimately high quality. Obviously, this song is no exception. In fact, it is one of those signature tracks from that thing, and what a banger it is. Lyrics take a backseat to instrumentation in anthems like this, and the hard rock instrumentation automatically puts me in a good mood. So yeah, rock on! It is a fucking shame that I don't hear this song that very frequently where I live, but I do know where to find it, fortunately. Personally, I was introduced to this song through The Nutty Professor, as it plays during the exercise scene where morbidly obese Eddie Murphy is preparing to go out on a date with Jada Pinkett Smith. For those of you who aren't familiar with the movie, it is hilarious. But back to the song. Even though the Pointer Sisters had quite a few hits throughout 1984, this was the smallest of the three. But for me, it is the absolute best of them, as you can really feel the excitement in the girl's vocal delivery, and it automatically puts me in a happy mood whenever I hear it. Okay, I imagine that not having this on the top 10 proper will be somewhat controversial, but let me just say that this is my honorary number 11. If you're still not satisfied with my reasoning, here goes. This song has rightfully earned its place as a staple to be played at sports arenas, but that is also why it is relatively low for me. I've heard it so often that it isn't as fresh anymore. But that is a shame, since for all intents and purposes, this pump-up jam was ahead of its time, with predominantly synth-heavy instrumentation that everyone knows. They even combined with Eddie Van Halen's iconic guitar playing to create one of the most iconic solos ever. That's just something, most days you just get synth solos or guitar solos, but here they combine them. That's just revolutionary. Again, Overplay has really done a number on this song for me. please just be happy that I accept this as a phenomenal song all the same.
4, 3, 2, 1, let me know it's falling.
Now, this is something that doesn't happen every day, a German act making a hit song that is big in the States. This was Peter Schilling's only major hit though, as most German acts don't have sustained careers in America. Of course, Scorpions are German, and obviously people know more songs than just Wind of Change, the only one that actually was a Billboard year-end hit. But I think my point will be made with this question. This song wasn't a hit, but it's one that I hear in Reno, so I'd like to ask you this. Does anyone know of any music from Rammstein in America outside of Du Hast? Exactly. Anyways, this song interpolates a space-themed David Bowie song and has lyrics centered around an astronaut who commands a spaceship on an ill-fated voyage. I can't find any online evidence to suggest that this song is based off of a real-life accident, but considering the time period, it was probably inspired by one of the many space disasters under the Soviet Union's belt. Regardless, this song is fantastic, and that chorus is just so catchy. Okay, those were my 5 honorable mentions. What songs actually made my best list proper? Let's find out together, starting out with number 10. And what better way to start off this list than with one of the best singer-songwriters of all time? As much as I do like Uptown Girl, and I personally don't agree with Nerder Than Afro for putting it on his worst list of 84, it isn't Billy Joel. It is his English counterpart. People tend to think of Elton John as a 70s musician, as that is when he was at his absolute peak. However, the man still had quite a few hits throughout the 80s and was still going strong even in the 90s. Even though Candle in the Wind was originally recorded in the 70s, I'm counting it as an 80s hit since that is when it was popular. I'm of course talking about the original, not the Princess Diana version. I mention that because that is perhaps my favorite of his 80s hits. My favorite song of his that was actually recorded in the 80s goes to, I guess that's why they call it the blues, which is why we are here at this entry. A piano ballad that even features Stevie Wonder for a harmonica solo. I'm actually surprised at how often I hear this song today, and I feel anything but blue when I do hear it. Number 9. Oh, for a moment, did you guys think that we were done with German artists on this list? Not even close. It is scary how a song from back when my parents were in their tween years can relate to modern events. From what I can gather about the translated lyrics, World War III breaks out over possibly the stupidest of reasons at a concert in West Berlin, aka the non-communist side. The concert ends with 99 red balloons being released into the sky. The communist East, however, mistakes the balloons for missiles, and all-out war breaks out. I relate this to the shooting down of that Ukrainian airliner at the hands of the Iranian government from 2 weeks ago, because in fact, the people that called the orders are big guys who believe they're Captain Kirk and believe they're all that hot shit. By the way, people who claim that America was to blame in any way for the downing of that plane are flat out stupid. If only I were to hear this song more often today. Number 8. Okay, I promise that there won't be any more potentially touchy subjects discussed in this video. What better way to prove myself correct than with a song about life for the number 8 slot? "1984" was Prince at his peak. Purple Rain, the movie, was huge, and he had major success on the charts, even notching the #1 song of the year. Not this one, FYI. But I don't want to talk about that song. I want to talk about this one. And oh boy, is it a treat.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
From that opening sermon intro, you automatically know that this is going to be a song with religious imagery, with the elevator referring to Satan and going crazy, the more pleasant sounding alternative. And that guitar solo is quite, dare I say, heavenly to listen to. It is just a shame that this is one of the Prince songs that I don't really hear that frequently in Reno. But when I do hear it, you better believe that I go crazy. Oh, sorry about that. That is something that I honestly do not plan for in these videos because I'm in a room with timed lights, and if they don't detect motion, then they go off. Sorry about that. At least you know that I'm actually real. Okay, anyways, number 7. Alright, before I talk about the next entry, I like to ask if anyone remembers this song from 2014. For those of you who don't, this was Ain't It Fun by Paramore. I think the song is more mediocre than outright great. However, since this was around the time when I was going through my 80s phase, I remember being drawn into the song by the intro. Which I found was very similar to the intro of a song from 30 years earlier. Now you all know where I'm going with this. When people think of the girl group Bananarama, this is the song that automatically comes to mind. It is perhaps most famous for its use in the first Karate Kid movie, one that I haven't seen in ages. By the way, how does one go from this to that cheese fest called Glory of Love? This track is one that will automatically get stuck in your head thanks to the keys instrumentation that I compared to Paramore's signature hit. And this song also has a very catchy funk guitar bridge that adds to the song that is fun to listen to, whatever the time of year. Number 6. During my 80s phase, I frequently mentioned that Phil Collins was one of those acts that I listened to quite a bit. But that doesn't mean that I was restricted to just his solo work.
Why does it always seem to be me looking at you with you looking at me? It's always the same, it's just a shame, that's all.
Out of all the hits that Genesis has acquired over the years, this is by far the one that I hear the most. Even more so than Invisible Touch or In Too Deep, which are popularly considered among the best from that group. The only one that I wish I heard more frequently that is also considered popular is Land of Confusion, but still, this is an awesome track. Lyrics detail a very argumentative relationship, but I most enjoy the instrumentation. Let's see, you've got those keys that form the main melody of the song. As well as that guitar work that finishes off the track. What else do I need to say about this song? I like it, and that's all. Number 5. Don't you just love it when a Halloween classic is played pretty much all year long? I know I sure do. Believe me, we'll get into Michael Jackson in depth when I get to talking about his momentous 1983. But even a year after the King of Pop hit his commercial peak, he was still in very high demand. For example, his energy is what turned Paul McCartney's major hit from this year, Say Say Say, into a pretty good track. And of course, he also had this, the title track to one of the most successful albums of all time. All the things to talk about with this classic. Man, you've got that haunting introduction that suddenly shifts into a fantastic keyboard riff for bringing in the bass groove to drive the verses.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand.
And of course, you've got that spooky talking outro courtesy of Vincent Price, which ends in a maniacal sounding laughter. Where I live, most stations would cut the song's time drastically since it is almost 6 minutes long, were it any other song. Thankfully, they don't do that here, as doing so would be a huge disservice to this phenomenal masterpiece. Based on the fact that this is only at number 5, you all have to know that the remainder of this list is truly special. Number 4. Now, how do we follow up a Halloween classic like Thriller? Are you serious? Another Halloween classic? Even I'm not that predictable. So instead, forget about that. We're gonna go with a love ballad instead.
The second-hand unwind. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time.
Outside of the music scene, Cyndi Lauper was a real fashion icon, but that's not the focus of this video. Throughout the mid-80s, the eccentric woman had her fair share of hits, and where I live, there are 4 that are pretty well remembered today. To a small extent, True Colors is heard sporadically, and another song of hers that I hear every now and then is All Through the Night, which was very close to making my 1985 year-end list, but as you would expect, there are 2 songs that she is most well known for. Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, a light 7 out of 10 for me, and as you probably know, Time After Time. Like Guitar Work helps drive this love ballad along, but it also doesn't hurt to have Cyndi Lauper's vocal performance here as well. I have over the course of my videos mentioned numerous songs that tend to bring a smile to my face. Most of them come from being just so feel-good that I can't not smile. But this track creates a truly heartwarming smile, and that is different. In short, I will always come back to this timeless classic. Number 3. Now, we're at the home stretch of this video, the top 3. And I find it very fitting that these remaining songs not only topped the charts at one point of 1984, they wound up as among the top 10 year-end hits. And for my number 3, we're going to the prog rock track. This is a very strange song, but for all the right reasons. Lyrically, the song isn't much deeper than trying to encourage someone with a lonely heart to give love a chance. What I enjoy the most from this song is that instrumentation. Right out of the gate, you've got that drum fill that leads into the main riff. You've got a very good guitar solo, which follows after a second drum fill like intro. And of course, my favorite part of the song has to be I really just love that breakdown that comes after the second and final choruses. The way that the keys, guitars, and bass line come together for this segment make an absolute earworm of a breakdown that is among my favorite musical bits ever. It is a shame that most of the radio stations in Reno tend to have this song fade out before the second one can begin, which means that I have to find the song very early if I'm to hear this part. But man, do I love this track all through and through. Number 2. Okay, I imagine that some of my viewers are probably a little salty that my number 4 entry wasn't a second, potentially more obvious Halloween classic. If the viewers are very reactionary and automatically gave this video a thumbs down, I'm sorry. I promise I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna make it up to you by forcing you to remove that thumbs down. Maybe people saw this coming, I don't know, but come on, did you really think that I would omit this from my best of 1984 list? One of the greatest movie themes of all time? I'm not sure if I appreciate the way you think of me if you honestly thought that I would forget about this, because this song is flat out perfect. Anyone who has not seen Ghostbusters must have lived their whole lives with their head up their ass, as it is essential cinema. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and company own that masterpiece. And the soundtrack song is just as iconic, if not more so, than the movie itself. What amazes me the most about this song is that the artist, Ray Parker Jr., hasn't always had the best track record in terms of hit songs. In fact, just this very same year, he had a hit song that was very clingy and almost stalkerish with its lyrics to the point that it would make Lionel Richie blush. But I guess this is proof that even mediocre artists can strike gold. What else do you want me to say about this song? It's just flat out perfect, but it just missed out on the top slot for me. Do you want to know what made the top slot? Number 1. Okay, I hope that I managed to save my reviewing career by confirming that Ghostbusters is a fantastic song, but for some reason, I feel as if I still have some redeeming left to do on my part for this video. To find out where I need to redeem myself, I'm going to go back over my script and look at the songs that I have on this list. Let's see. Against All Odds. Feel good about that one. Come on, Feel the Noise. Yeah, I got that. I'm So Excited. Got that. Jump. Explain that. Major Tom. Good. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Did my bit on it. 99 Love Belongs. Did it? Ah, there it is. That's where now I found out where I have some business left to finish off. Time to finish off this list properly. Maybe people saw this coming as well, but I meant it when I said that I didn't want to talk about the Prince song that was the song of the year as the number 8 entry was supposed to be about Let's Go Crazy. Now we get to talk about that smash. For some reason that I don't think I'll ever understand, Purple Rain wasn't a year-end hit. Instead, we have this, a song that doesn't have any bass guitar in it at all. But bizarrely, the song sounds flat out flawless even without the bass guitar. In fact, the guitar alone makes the song a classic right from the get-go. Those opening 12 seconds puts this song higher than most if not all the other major classics from this era. But we're not done with the guitar work. You don't end with that. Yeah, you've got even more guitar work later on in that long outro. Add in the lyrics mainly about marital problems and you are left with an almost obvious choice for my best hit song of 1984. If Purple Rain were a year-end hit, this song would only be at number 2, but as things stand, When Doves Cry reigns supreme. Well, that was my list. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share this video with others so that I can grow my channel, subscribe to my channel so that you will be notified of new material from me, and as always, leave a comment down below. I just ask, as always, that the comments stay civilized. This little disclaimer at the end is not for my frequent viewers because I've never had any problems with the people that frequently watch my videos and their comments. This is mainly for people who just discover this channel. That way that they're all good on, that way they don't do anything stupid. Okay, Since I am starting back up with school, I'm going to be going back to a less frequent release schedule. My next video, The Best Hit Songs of 1983, should be out on Saturday, February 8th. I look forward to making that video, so stay tuned for that list. Until then, I'm Tyler Marchand, and I'll see you later. Take care.